Hey guys, today we will be making 5 cozy soups to get you through the winter. It has been a bitterly cold winter so far where I live, and there is nothing like a comforting, warm bowl of soup to make the day better. We will be making broccoli cheddar soup, Italian wedding soup, split pea soup with ham, cheeseburger soup, and chicken and wild rice soup. We've got a lot to cover, so let's go get started. So we are going to start out with our broccoli cheddar soup here. So in a large stock pot, I am melting 6 tablespoons of butter and adding 1 small onion that I chopped up. And we're just going to cook that until softened, about 5 minutes. And then I'm whisking in a 1/4 cup of flour. And this is going to create our roux to thicken the soup. So then I'm going to slowly pour in 2 cups of milk, or half and half. And we just want to give that a good stir, and then we are going to add in 4 cups of chicken broth. You could also use vegetable stock here. And then I'm also adding in some garlic powder, smoked paprika, salt and pepper, a pinch of nutmeg, and about a teaspoon of yellow mustard. So then we just want to give that a good stir. And we just want to let that cook for about 5 minutes just to warm everything up. And then I am adding in 4 cups of fresh broccoli florets and 1 large carrot that I diced, or about a cup. So then we just want to bring that to a simmer and cook until the broccoli and carrots are tender, about 20 to 25 minutes. And you definitely want to check using like a knife or a fork to poke the carrots just to make sure that they're really tender. And then I just use my stick blender to puree everything until it's nice and smooth. And then we are going to add in about 8 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese. And we just want to stir that until it's nice and melted. Now, if your soup is too thick for your liking, you can add about a half a cup of water to thin it out, but I usually don't need that. And then you can just garnish it with some more shredded cheddar cheese and some fresh parsley. So now let's move on to my Italian wedding soup. We are going to make the mini meatballs. You can skip this step and just buy frozen mini meatballs if you prefer, but they're really easy to make, so I'll just show you how I make them. So in a large bowl, I have 1 pound of ground beef, and to that I am adding 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, salt and pepper, as well as a half a cup of breadcrumbs, a half a cup of Parmesan cheese, and 2 tablespoons of milk, and also 1 large egg. And we just want to mix that until combined. And then I formed them into 1-inch balls and just set them aside. So now I have my Dutch oven with some oil in the bottom, and we are just going to sear the meatballs. So I have my burner set to medium-high heat. And we just want to add all of the little meatballs in once the oil is hot, and just sear them for about 2 minutes per side. They don't have to be cooked all the way through because we are going to cook them in the soup. But what this does is really adds a nice base layer for our soup with that nice beefy flavor. So once they are seared on all sides, you just want to set those aside on a plate. And then I turned my heat down to medium, and we are going to add in 1 small onion chopped, 2 sticks of celery chopped, about 2 cups of carrots diced, and we just want to cook that for about 5 to 7 minutes, or until the vegetables become tender. And then to that I'm going to add in 4 cloves of garlic minced and cook that an additional minute. And then we're going to add in 8 cups of chicken broth, Mine was still a little frozen, but that's okay. And we're also going to add the meatballs back in and add 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, or a blend of basil, oregano, and parsley. So then we just want to bring that to a boil and let that cook for about 10 to 15 minutes just to make sure that the meatballs are cooked all the way through. Now, I like to cook my pasta on the side because I freeze all of my soups, and when you freeze the pasta in the soup, it'll just completely fall apart when you rewarm it up. But if you are going to serve this and eat it at the same time or for leftovers, you can add the pasta in and boil it for about 10 minutes or until it is cooked. Any type of tiny pasta will work here. You could use ditalini. I actually ended up using the SpaghettiO rings that I had left over from my SpaghettiO video, which I will link the pasta down below. And I thought it was kind of cute because it's like little wedding rings. So as I said, I cooked my pasta on the side and then I just put it in a container in the freezer and just take a scoop out whenever I'm having a bowl of this soup. But now that everything is cooked, we are going to add in about 5 ounces of fresh baby spinach. And you just want to put the lid on the pot and let that wilt for about 5 minutes. And then it's ready to serve. I like to top mine with some fresh cracked pepper and Parmesan cheese, as well as some crushed red pepper if you like a little bit of spice. This is one of my favorite soups. I love that it's fresh, it's got that nice spinach and vegetables, and it's brothy, but it's also very hearty and filling because of those meatballs and the pasta. So I'm not hungry 30 minutes after I have a bowl of this. It's really nice. So now let's move on to my split pea with ham. So I have a 1/4 cup of butter melted in my large stock pot here. And to that I'm adding 2 cups of chopped onions, 1 cup of diced carrot, and 1 cup of diced celery, along with 2 cups of diced ham, about a 1/4 inch thick. So this is actually leftover ham from the holidays that we had in the freezer. You want those kind of thicker slices, not thin sliced deli ham. So we just want to cook that until the vegetables are softened, about 5 minutes. And then I'm adding in 2 cloves of minced garlic, as well as some salt and pepper, and 1 pound of dried split peas. So I'm just going to give that a stir and then add in 6 cups of chicken stock. And again, my stock is slightly frozen. I always think I take it out with plenty of time to thaw, but man, we have a mighty freezer. So anyway, we also add in 2 cups of beef broth and 2 cups of water because these split peas need a lot of water to cook and break down. So we just want to give that a stir, and then I'm adding in some liquid smoke, which is my secret weapon with this dish. It really just adds a nice flavor profile with that ham. And then we're also adding in some smoked paprika and thyme. We just want to stir that and simmer it uncovered for about 60 to 90 minutes, stirring occasionally, or until the split peas are cooked down and the soup is thick. So they should be mostly broken apart. You shouldn't really see any of the little round pods anymore. And just like the broccoli soup, if it's too thick for your liking, you can absolutely add some more water. We like it really thick. All right, so let's move on to my cheeseburger soup. So I have a 1/2 pound of ground beef here in my Dutch oven, and I'm just going to cook that until it is no longer pink, and then we just want to drain that and set it aside. And then I melted 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm adding in 1 cup of carrots diced, 1 cup of celery diced, and 1 cup of onion diced. And we just want to saute that until tender, again about 5 to 7 minutes. And then I'm stirring in 3 cloves of garlic minced. Cook that for an additional minute. And then I'm adding in 4 cups of potatoes that I peeled and diced. We just want to give that a stir. And then we're going to add in 3 cups of chicken broth. as well as add that ground beef back in there. And then I'm going to season that with parsley, garlic powder, paprika, and thyme. And we just want to cover that and simmer for about 10 to 12 minutes just to get the potatoes cooking. And then I am going to combine 1.5 cups of milk with 1/4 cup of flour. And you just want to whisk that and try to get all of the lumps broken down as best you can. And then we're just going to slowly mix that into the soup. And then just cook that for about 5 minutes. And then we're going to turn the heat down to low and add in 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese and 1/2 cup of shredded American cheese. And we just want to stir that until everything is nice and melted. And then we are going to turn off the heat and stir in 1/4 cup of sour cream. And I also added in some more black pepper here. And there you have it. We like to serve this with onion rings on the side, green onions, and bacon crumbled on top. It literally tastes like a cheeseburger. It's so good. So if you have somebody in your family that's kind of not into soup, but they really like cheeseburgers, this one will win them over. It is definitely a much more hearty, stick to your ribs, filling kind of soup. It's perfect on a cold, snowy day. So last but certainly not least is my chicken and wild rice soup. So in my Dutch oven here, I have a drizzle of olive oil, and I added in 1/2 cup of finely diced carrots, 1/2 cup of diced celery, and 1 medium onion diced. And we just want to cook that for about 5 to 7 minutes again until they're softened. And then I'm adding in 3 garlic cloves minced. Cook that an additional minute. And then I am adding in 4 cups of chicken stock, partially frozen again, along with 2 cups of water and 2 cups of shredded cooked chicken. I will link down below my video from my slow cooker rotisserie chicken. That is what I used in this recipe. And then I am seasoning it with some salt and pepper, oregano, sage, thyme, celery seed, garlic powder, and smoked paprika, and a bay leaf if you have it. I did not. And then we just want to simmer that for about 15 minutes. And on the side, I have 2 cups of milk that I am going to combine with 1/2 cup of flour. And again, we just want to whisk that until no lumps remain. And we're going to stir that into the soup along with a 4.3 ounce box of long grain and wild rice. Rice-A-Roni has one. This is a box that I got at Aldi. It has a seasoning packet in it, and you want to add that as well. So we want to just simmer that for an additional 20 minutes. So you just want to check and make sure that the rice is cooked to your liking, and then I just like to garnish mine with green onions. This is another one that is just so creamy and satisfying, but it doesn't feel really heavy or rich. It just makes a really great lunch or dinner. I really hope you guys enjoyed coming along with me and making 5 of my cozy soups to get you through the winter. This is part 1. Part 2 will be coming within the next couple of weeks. So please be sure to let me know down in the comments if you give any of these a try or any requests you may have. And thank you so much for watching until the end, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.